how we grow out the concrete. 2 roses, don't get too close. Been by the code, you know how I be. Grew out the mud pit to a rose, don't get too close. Been by the code, you know how I be.
When you wake up in the morning, you got 2 choices. Go back to sleep and dream your dreams, or wake up and chase your dreams. Choice is yours.
Young nigga about that paper. 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 Yeah. True man, I'm free. I wake up a new episode. I pop out clean and skip me up a level though. She talk to me like I'm not me. I get it though. Yeah. I'm so eclectic, on me to the credits roll. Talk down to me, they might have to send medical. I'm out the league, I'm OD, they pathetic though. Look how I move, I'm protected. Shawty so swoon in my presence. The world going through it outside, they unruly, but I keep it cool, they can't press me. I keep it pure with intention. They see what I'm on, ain't no vixen. I might slide through with that top down. I keep it tuned with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga, look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid, I don't see a thing. Young nigga about that paper. 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 Hop on that jet, had to switch to the coast. One of a kind, I've been playing that role. They pay me to play me, I needed it for. It's real if I said I meant what I spoke. I'm legend, it's written, I shake up the city. Spin block till I'm dizzy, won't ever go broke. I'm chose, I must like do it, I top down. I keep in tune with a high power. Put it on me, I'm blessed. Young nigga blessed. Big bag, manifest the sky, no stress. Keep no evil around me, can't ground me. I built it since when I had less. No hex on, God can't pause, nigga, look at how far we progress. Whatever we doing, we keeping it fluid, I don't see a thing. Young nigga about that paper. 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 Put it on me, I'm blessed. Big bag, but I fix the sky, no stress. Can't ground me, I know this since when I had less. Yeah, how far we progress. Fluid, I don't see a threat.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hater plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a date with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In the yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Every everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the old well, need 100 million on the low scale.
All right, y'all know how this goes. I ain't got no money, so don't come for me. Hey, girl, I'm here, but I'm finishing up cooking, so I will be a little quiet. No problem. Anyways, like I said, I ain't got no money. Don't come for me. This is all secondhand, and I'm just letting you know. If you want some money, go to the news outlets that asked for it in the first place, okay? So let's begin. Oh, shit.
Green light, let's get it. I'm the future, I'm in it. Check score, I'm winning. Green light, let's get it. I just win. I'm on 10.
Hey, how you doing and all that good stuff. I hope if you are here that you maybe went to see my metaphorical funeral. That was on Friday. Not sure how I feel about it, but I'm doing all right. But hi, how you doing? Let's go ahead and say hello. It is me. Hello, motherfucker. And anyways, let's go ahead and start. We are probably going to end really early because I figured out how not to freak out and tell everybody all the shit. So let's begin. So, report. LeBron James has signed with Philadelphia 76ers. I did not see that shit coming. I thought he was going to retire. Anyways, LeBron James is officially taking his talents to Philadelphia because apparently retirement looked boring, and the Sixers decided subtlety was overrated. Subtlety was overrated. The 41-year-old, he is not that much younger than me. 41-year-old NBA legend has agreed to a 2-year, $8 million contract with the Philadelphia 76ers. The second year includes a player option, so LeBron can reassess after one season if his knee, his family, or Philadelphia sports fans tell him, "Sir, that is enough." LeBron admitted that he seriously considered retiring after his 23rd season. However, after taking time to think, he decided he still loves basketball, still has something left to give. You know, you could give in a different way, I'm just saying, and still wants another championship. See, now you just want to be greedy. According to LeBron, this is his last decision, and he is not doing it for the money. Considering he earned nearly $53 million last season, hey, how about you give that to the community then? I'm just saying. And is now accepting roughly $8 million over 2 years. I believe him. That is not a pay cut. Shit, $1 million in 1 year, $1 million in 2 years is great for me. That is LeBron putting himself on clearance. He now joins a loaded Sixers roster, joining Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and newly acquired Jaylen Brown. On paper, that starting lineup looks disrespectful, but the words on paper have been doing only Olympic-level heavy lifting for Philadelphia for years. Maybe they'll win this year. I don't know. LeBron averaged 20.9 points, 7.2 assists, and 6.1 rebounds across 60 games last season. So this is not merely a ceremonial farewell tour. He can still play. Yeah, but he got to fuck. Why is it everybody's knee get fucked up? I just don't get it. This will be his record extending 24th NBA season and his fourth franchise after Cleveland, Miami, and Los Angeles. I think he's just doing a tour, real talk. Philadelphia has not won an NBA championship since 1983. I was 2. And has not escaped the second round of the playoffs since 2001. So LeBron is not just joining a basketball team, he is accepting a historical restoration project with a passionate fan base, several superstars, and absolutely no patience. No pressure, King. Just 43 years of disappointment before your knee submits their retirement paperwork. Oh, shit. Yeah, no pressure. No pressure. Just saying. But that's it for the little bait. If you're in here now, I got you. Let's go ahead and get angry because the next few stories are going to get you pissed off. But before we do that, if you like what I'm doing or if you don't like what I'm doing and you have figured out something that can help me fix it, hit me up in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe, because I'm really trying to get these numbers up. So one, we can have a panel, and two, maybe I can get a few dollars. I ain't trying to have a whole lot just to get the damn cat some food. Shit. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get to the next story, because believe me, I have updates, and I told you I'm keeping my foot on people's necks. So here we go. Wait. I forgot my commercial. Please check out my commercial, like, share, and once again, subscribe. Do what the little foxy boxy thing with 9 tails says, please subscribe. Let's go ahead and hit up this commercial, and I'll be right back with the bullshit.
It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the. It's just me and the fam. Yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little tay say that's my girl, that's my mascot. No one's go for hours and some hours till we pass out. Stay inside the house, turned up with the racks out. Stay inside the house, turned.
All right, if you thought I was done, you have lost your mind. I told you I'm going to keep my foot on their neck. So I have an update for Lonn Hartman. We have an update on 37-year-old Detroit youth mentor Daryl Lonn Hartman, who was found critically injured at Michigan's Bliss Fest Music Festival on July 12th. The encouraging news is that Lonn continues to improve according to his loved ones. He is alert and has been communicating by blinking, nodding after suffering severe lacerations to his neck. But what happened to him remains a disturbing mystery. Lonn's friends and family believe he was violently attacked. They also say that hours before he was found, he texted a friend saying he did not feel safe and was not around safe people. The message does not prove exactly what happened, but it certainly deserves serious attention. The Emmett County Sheriff's Office says investigators have not determined whether Lonn's injuries were self-inflicted or caused during an altercation. Authorities also say the evidence reviewed so far does not establish that he was specifically targeted. Now, let me be precise. We have not found evidence does not mean we know it did not happen. It means the investigation has not proven it yet. Those are two different sentences, and this story already has enough confusion without people seasoning uncertainty like it's a confirmed fact. As of the sheriff's July 23rd update, Lonn was still unable to give investigators a complete account. Detectives have interviewed witnesses, received hundreds of tips, collected evidence, and submitted multiple items to the Michigan State Police Crime Laboratory for forensics. No suspect has been identified, no arrest has been made, and there is still no official explanation for how a beloved youth mentor ended up fighting for his life inside a festival campground. Lonn is recovering, and that deserves to be celebrated. But until he can tell his story or the evidence provides an answer, the central question remains, what happened to Lonn Hartman that night? And believe me, I will keep you updated on it because I'm nosy as hell and petty. I got time. Anyways, let me keep on moving because believe me, the next story is also a freaking update. Where's my update button so I can get that shit together? Okay, here we go. Can I get this to move? Probably not. Still on their head. What really happened to these young black men? So across America, black families are mourning while also being forced to investigate, question, and publicly fight for answers about how their beloved ones died. Here are all 15 cases highlighted by The Root. 13-year-old Daryl Martinez Lowry was allegedly, and held underwater by two teenagers while in temporary foster care. One teen has been charged with murder. 18-year-old Daniel Irving drowned in Texas. His death was ruled accidental, but two teens face evidence tampering charges for allegedly discarding his belongings and failing to report what happened. That sounds like murder to me. 18-year-old Nolan Wells was found dead near Mississippi's Horn Island. An independent autopsy classified both his cause and manner of death as undetermined because they fucked with his body before they sent it over. Tory Medley was found hanging from a tree at Wisconsin golf course. Police called it an apparent suicide, but his family continues requesting a deeper investigation. I hope they get it. Get that word out, please. Alonzo Brooks disappeared from Kansas party in 2004 and was found in a creek. A later autopsy ruled his death a homicide. Travion Trey Reed was found hanging at Delta State University. Authorities ruled it a suicide while his family sought an independent autopsy. I haven't heard an update about that recently. Robert Fuller was found hanging near Palmdale City Hall. His death was ruled suicide, a conclusion his family ultimately accepted after further review. Gerard J. Jackson was found dead near Michigan Electric Forest Festival. Police reported no evidence of foul play, but his family disputes the suicide conclusion. 20-year-old Tyron Johnson was fatally pew-pewed by Tennessee National Guard during a police foot pursuit. The TBI is investigating. I wonder when we're going to hear about that. The deaths of Javion McGee in North Carolina and Trevante Jamal Schubert Helton, that is a long name, in Georgia were both officially classified as suicides. Denoris Richardson was found hanging in an abandoned Alabama house. A private autopsy raised questions, prompting an FBI review. Kendrick Johnson was found inside a rolled-up wrestling mat. His death was ruled accidental, but his family continues alleging a cover-up. How the hell is it accidental if he was covered up? Rolled up in a goddamn wrestling. Okay. A court revived the wrongful lawsuit involving Damian Cameron, whose death following restraint by Mississippi deputies remains undetermined. Finally, 1-year-old Cohen Wiley was unalived when police fired into a vehicle outside a Mississippi Walmart. These cases are not identical, and the evidence does not support the same conclusion in every death. But every family deserves a complete investigation, transparent evidence, and answers strong enough to withstand scrutiny. Black Wreath should never come with a second job as a private investigator. Disgusting that it keeps doing that. But we're not done with the updates. God dang it, this one was reported today as well. Nolan Wells' mother targeted with 1-star reviews on her work profile, supporters say. Can y'all leave the damn woman alone? She just put her baby to rest. Can you leave her alone, you sick fucks? Because apparently grieving the unexplained death of her 18-year-old son isn't enough, supporters say someone is now targeting Christine Wells Wansley's professional reputation. Christine, the mother of Nolan Wells, works as a family medicine nurse practitioner. According to a widely shared thread post, her professional profile began receiving a wave of 1-star reviews during the 2 weeks following Nolan's death and the national attention surrounding his case. The post claims Christine has not returned to work since July 3rd because of the holiday and then her bereavement. Supporters argue the timing suggests reviews are not legitimate accounts from recent patients, but part of a coordinated racially motivated attack against a Black mother demanding answers. However, we need to keep the facts precise. Neither Christine nor her employer has publicly addressed the reviews, and the full extent of the activity has not been independently confirmed. So we cannot definitively say who posted them or why. Hold on, let me kill my phone. God dang thing, I keep forgetting to shut this thing up. There you go. All right. Let's see here now. I think that's a Pop-Tart over there. I'm going to go check. Anyways, her employer, I said that, and has not been independently confirmed. So we cannot, I said that. But if people are leaving fraudulent reviews because they dislike a grieving mother publicly asking what happened to her child, that is not criticism. That is cowardly harassment wearing a customer service costume, you sick bitches. This is also reportedly not the first attack against the family. Before Nolan's funeral, Christine revealed that anonymous hate mail had been sent directly to her home. Imagine locating a grieving mother's address, buying a stamp, and using your limited time on earth to mail cruelty. Some people desperately need hobbies, therapy, and supervised internet access. You're fucks. Nolan disappeared during a July 4th boating trip to Horn Island, Mississippi, and his body was found 2 days later. An independent autopsy has left both the cause and manner of death undetermined. Let's remember that the original person that did the autopsy has been known and has a list of giving unknown or undetermined results for the death of Black young men and possibly women. So I'm just saying. Anyways, let's see here now. Christine and Nolan's father are asking a simple question. What happened to their son? They should not have to defend their home, their careers, and their reputations just to receive an honest answer. And if them rich little fucks did something to him, because I don't give a fuck if they're free, they're innocent or not, they should have never had his fucking phone. They should have gave that freely. You know what I'm saying? And then they didn't. So they're still fucks to me. Somebody needs to answer because this is ridiculous and sick as fuck. Anyways, once again, if you're a minority, that includes anybody that's a woman, LGBT, you know, all of that stuff, you know, trans or whatever the fuck. If you're a damn minority, please do not travel alone. If you are the only goddamn person, don't be the token is what I'm trying to say. Moving on, because this is another update. Apparently, these motherfuckers are going for her. Mom found a man under her daughter's bed. Now she faces murder charges. Why was he under her bed? That's what I want to know. Why isn't that child in like a detention home? Because apparently her fast ass inviting a goddamn grown ass man. The man apparently had mental issues, but still, she invited that guy up. Somebody had to open the damn door is what I'm trying to say. A Memphis mother is facing first-degree murder charges after allegedly pew-pewing a 20-year-old man she discovered hiding under her 13-year-old daughter's bed. 7 years because finding a grown man folded underneath your child's furniture at 1:30 in the morning is the kind of parenting surprise nobody included in the handbook. According to a 36-year-old Kendra Scott, to the police, Kendra Scott returned home from work during the early hours of July. She did what she should have. Exactly. My mother probably would have done worse. By the time they got there, he probably would have been displayed for anybody else. Real talk. And she probably been sitting there like Marvin Gaye's father did and turned herself in for real. So just saying. Anyways, her daughter was, so this happened on July 16th, early hours. Her daughter had reportedly invited Rodarius Morton into the house through the back door shortly before Scott arrived and then hid him under her bed. What the hell was this child planning? I think maybe she was trying to get him unalived. This is ridiculous. Let's ask this kid where her head was at. Scott allegedly discovered Morton, confronted him, and ordered him out of the house. Allegedly. Police say Morton was unarmed and had reached the front porch when she pew-pewed him once in the back of the head. Officers found him unresponsive in the front yard. You think? In the back of the head? Well, shit. Scott reportedly told investigators, I saw a dude under my kid's bed and I did what I had to do. Now, here is where the emotional reaction and the legal arguments separate. Scott's attorney, Blake Baldwin, that's his name, says prosecutors cannot prove that she planned the unaliving and argues the case should not qualify as premeditated first-degree unaliving. Who the hell told them that she allowed the man to leave? That's my question. Who the hell is it? Is it the daughter? Because I really want that kid to be seriously investigated. We got some badass grown-ass kids nowadays. And they sometimes they don't have no good plan for their parents. Some kids are just plain evil. I'm not going to fucking sit up here and try to baby the shit. Her defense is examining whether Tennessee's self-defense laws apply on Blake is a woman. I did not know that. Apply or whether the evidence supports a lesser charge such as voluntary manslaughter. At least that. God dang it. At least that. Prosecutors may point to the location of the wound, Morton being unarmed, and a statement Scott's daughter, there it is, attributed to her mother before the incident. The teenager claims Scott had previously threatened to shoot any boy she found inside the house. You know what? That child ain't right. Any parent could tell you that shit. Shit, my mom said that shit. Scott's attorney argues that statement reflected an angry parent's warning, not an actual murder plan. Morton's former special education teacher has also said he had learning disabilities, adding another sensitive element to an already complicated case. I'm looking at that fast-ass daughter. That's what I'm looking at. Scott's bond has been set at $100,000, and her next hearing is scheduled for August 3rd. Finding an unknown adult underneath your 13-year-old daughter's fast-ass bed would terrify and enrage almost any parent. But the court must now decide whether Scott acted in legal justified fear, sudden emotional rage, I think they're both, or with the premeditation required for the first-degree murder. Oh, that's why they're saying it was premeditated. Yeah, that badass girl. God dang it. Talking about she actually let the... Man, I'm telling you right now, I'm pretty damn sure a whole bunch of parents are running around would have blacked the fuck out. That's all I'm saying. A parent would have blacked the fuck out. So, I think you should free her. Me, personally. And get that damn badass kid of hers and see what the fuck her mount. Go get a psychiatrist and see what the hell's wrong with the kid. That child right there. Because she opened the damn door. She let that damn man in. Okay? Why are we not looking at this child? Anyways, let's move on. So, excuse me. Wisconsin pew about the victim and new investigations. Y'all thought I was going to let this go? And Army, wait a minute. Story's missing. I know y'all didn't. You will not. I see. I told that motherfucker, and they still wouldn't tell me. Story I completed. I knew it. Didn't give me the Ruiz story. Give me a second, because this shit right here. Okay, I'm still listening, but I gotta wrestle a chicken. I hope you win, and if you don't tell me, because I promise you, I'm gonna drag your ass. You get beat up by a chicken, I really am, because I promise you, I got a story for you later, including my mother and a chicken. Needless to say, the chicken is dead. Well, it was a rooster, but still, I was very disturbed by its aggressiveness towards my child mother at that time. Every time she was in the vicinity. But give me a minute. I'm waiting for this joker to bring up the damn story, because I specifically picked this story, and the work version of ChatGPT apparently likes to skip work sometimes, apparently. Give me a moment. Okay, there you go. Talking about, you're right, I missed it, ass. Anyways, the family of 38-year-old Corey Durrell Ruiz is demanding accountability after he was fatally pew-pewed by a Madison, Wisconsin police officer on July 22nd. According to the police officers' approach, Ruiz while, man, I'm calling him Corey, approached Corey while investigating reports of suspicious activity and possible vehicle break-ins. Unless you have proof, man. Police say Corey fled before 4 officers, that's too many, attempted to restrain him at an intersection. Authorities claim Corey produced a knife. Ooh, you scared of a knife? Get the shit out of his hand. During the struggle, and injured 1 officer. So y'all got pissed off. Okay. Officers reportedly deployed a taser. All right. But police say it was unsuccessful. You a lie. The injured officer then fired 3 shots, unaliving Ruiz at the scene. Why? You didn't need to do that, okay? You really didn't. There's 4 of you, 2 on each arm. He has no way to cut anybody else. Then if you want, sneak a punch maybe. But that was way too much, okay? Way too much. Part of the encounter was captured on bystander video. However, there is no police body camera footage. I wonder why. Because the Madison Police Department still does not have a department-wide body camera program. You motherfuckers really could save your lives if you wasn't doing horrible shit with them, okay? So I feel like if you ain't willing to wear it, then obviously you hiding some shit. I got one, and I'm willing to wear that bitch. It is 2026, y'all. Regular citizens can record a police pew-pew from 3 different angles, but the nearly 500-person police department somehow remains technologically committed to trust us. I do not. All 4 officers involved have been placed on administrative leave. I bet they're still getting paid. Wisconsin's Department of Justice Division of Criminal Investigation is conducting an independent investigation, while Madison's independent police monitor is also reviewing the pew-pewing. Y'all, maybe we should really go and act like the UK and get cameras on the street. I'm sick of this bullshit here. Those investigators have not yet determined whether the officer's use of deadly force was legally justified. I don't think so. There's 4 of y'all. There is one of him. Sit on his back. One of y'all not on his back, but on his butt or something to get them legs controlled. 2 of y'all motherfuckers grab the damn arms, grab the goddamn knife away from the arm, and the dumbass with the gun just go chill out somewhere. Shit. Anyways, Corey's mother, Elsa, described her son as an exceptional man who loved his family, especially his 13-year-old daughter, Kalia. She said he did not deserve to be unalived. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump is making a lot of money, and that's really sad in so many ways. Is representing the family. Crump has called the pew-pewing an unjustified execution and says the officer responsible should face criminal charges. I concur. That is the family's attorney's position, not an official finding. The pew-pewing has triggered vigils and sustained protests throughout Madison. Demonstrators disrupted public events and demanded the release of information, identification of the officers, and meaningful police reform. We need to have national reform. Seriously, you motherfuckers seriously have. I don't know how many times I got to say it. I have the thing. Widen the motherfucking car so a third person can fit in there. You need a psychiatrist with you. You need a shrink to be able to mediate these crazy ass motherfuckers, because obviously y'all ain't doing very well with the anger management issues. Several major community events were canceled or altered as the city confronted the growing unrest. The video is disturbing, but the video also does not answer every legal question. Investigators must determine whether Corey possessed a knife. Even if he did he deserve to get a shot? And how the officer was injured, whether deadly force was necessary if you already got 3 people on his ass. No, it's not. And whether officers had a reasonable opportunity to de-escalate. Matter of fact, 2 motherfuckers, if y'all big enough, get him on both sides, let him kick his ass silly. The other one, de-escalate that motherfucker, please. Corey Ruiz's history does not decide whether his unaliving was justified. The determination must come from evidence, not police taking points, internet speculation, or attempts to put a dead man on trial because he can no longer defend himself. His family deserves the truth, and Madison deserves an investigation transparent enough to earn public trust. Because quite frankly, I can't see it. I just cannot see it. This shit is bull. All right, moving on, because I got to go back up, because this asshole, I should have did my due diligence. I was complacent. That's my fault. I should have did my due diligence. But we going to keep moving, because apparently folks like to hide stories and shit, and we just learning all kinds of shit now. Iran war widow says nobody reached out to explain her husband's removal from death toll. You know something? I can't believe this damn community. Not even community. I can't believe this damn country allows the shit that they doing. This don't make no fucking sense. Why are y'all doing this shit? To save face, man, these are people's lives. An Army widow says nobody from the government has explained why her husband's name suddenly disappeared from the Pentagon's public list of Americans killed in the Iran war. Sergeant Michael Emmanuel Swinton of Fayetteville, North Carolina, was killed at Erbil Air Base in Iraq during the controlled detonation of an Iranian drone. He was reportedly one of 4 service members killed in the incident. His widow, Jemiah Gonzalez, I hope I said her first name right, Swinton, later learned that her husband and the other 3 soldiers had vanished from the Defense Department's public casualty database. The Pentagon says the removals were caused by a temporary data disruption, but when CNN asked why the information still had not been restored or when the problem would be corrected, the Pentagon reported an orangutan did. Why the fuck we gotta suffer for this? Nothing honors military sacrifice quite like deleting the dead from the official spreadsheet and then leaving their families to learn about the glitch on television. You dirty bitches. Where's my ungrateful he bitch thing? I hope it works this time, because I'm telling you right now, some of y'all dirty ass motherfuckers be doing some crazy ass shit and it ain't right. How you gonna let that happen? Ooh.
Grateful he bitch.
Damn, y'all get on my nerves. So the missing names are not only the concern. Pentagon spokesperson, don't trust him, Sean Parnell, acknowledged that nearly 100 American service members had been injured since July 7th. However, CNN reported that dozens of those injuries were absent from the Pentagon's defense casualty analysis system. At least 18 service members have reportedly died during the war. Jemiah described Michael as funny, highly respected at work, sweet at home, and a big teddy bear with their young daughter. So you're just taking parents out the home and not reporting this shit? You dirty mad. The couple met while serving at Fort Hood and were later stationed together in Bahrain. Hope I said that right. Meanwhile, Drumpf claimed the fallen service members strongly believed in Iran could not be allowed to obtain a nuclear weapon. You dirty, lying, fucking orangutan. You... Give me a second here.
That shit is gross.
Fucker. Oh, Lord. What? You're going to hell. Sir, unless these soldiers personally left those exact words behind, please stop assigning political statements to dead people who cannot correct you. I hope they haunt you in your sleep. This is not merely a technical error. Casualty records influence public understanding of a war that we did not start. You did, you dirty fucking orangutan, and represent real people whose families deserve recognition, accuracy, and direct communication. Sergeant Swinton served his country. His widow should not have to fight the same government just to keep his sacrifice officially acknowledged. You dirty, nasty motherfuckers. I hate this country sometimes. I swear I was born here. My family was born here. I am half FBA and motherfucker. I can't with y'all. Dirty bastard. Shit. I'm also part Native American, and y'all killed my motherfucking tribe. Shit. Lifeguard's lunch break leads to 6-year-old nearly drowning. Thank God that baby is still alive. I hope someone kicked your ass, you dirty dumbass. You are a lifeguard. Have your lunch right next to you and eat while you watching. Don't you put your head down. Keep that hand, put your hand on the damn the bag wherever the food is, but keep your eyes on that damn pool. A 6-year-old boy is recovering after nearly drowning at a Washington, D.C. summer camp. Oh, Lord. While the pool's only reported lifeguard was away on a lunch break. Why the fuck were you away from the damn pool? Why the fuck were you away from the pool? If the pool was the pool closed? Did they have barriers? You should have had barriers. Kids are bad sometimes. Because apparently safety plan was everybody hold your breath until Brenda gets back. Was the woman's name really Brenda? Adonis Jackson was attending a Nike-sponsored summer soccer camp. I hope the parents sue. Held at the University of the District of Columbia. At the end of the day, as many as 30 children were reportedly allowed. Oh no, hell no. Reportedly allowed into the swimming pool without a lifeguard actively supervising them. Ain't no way. That's illegal. You ain't supposed to do that shit. That pool should not. Oh, Lord. Whew, Lord. Give me a second. I need a sound effect because y'all some ignorant bastards for doing this shit. I know my way. I done almost drowned at least 3 times. Now I'm a very good swimmer because I ain't about to die under that. No.
Oh, my God.
And I know I'm a good swimmer because I made it through the gap with a dislocated, both arms dislocated in boot camp. I know I'm a good swimmer because I beat all the rest except for 2 people. Shit. It was 6 of us in there. Anyways, Adonis was later discovered unresponsive at the bottom of the pool. Reports indicate that he may have been underwater for more than 2 minutes. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Camp counselor jumped into the water, but reportedly could not lift Adonis out. Why? Why could they not? The head coach then intervened, pulled him from the pool, and immediately began performing CPR. That damn lifeguard better be glad the mama didn't get her hands on him. When police arrived, Adonis was unresponsive but breathing. He was transported to Children's National Hospital, where he was able to breathe independently but remained intubated, sedated, and under constant observation. His family's attorney, Good, says Adonis is currently in stable condition, but his recovery could be lengthy because depriving the brain of oxygen, even briefly, could cause serious complications. Man, you might have fucked up all the potential in this child. And this is where several adults, well, not all, but some of it, adults need to locate their clipboards and start explaining. Why were approximately 30 young children permitted to swim without a lifeguard? Who authorized the pool to remain open during the lifeguard's break? Why was no qualified replacement stationed there? And why did the first adult attempting to rescue apparently struggle to remove a 6-year-old child from the water? Man, when I was freaking 6, I was picking up other 6-year-olds. Now, if I can pick up a 6-year-old at 6, how come you couldn't? Lunch breaks are required. Abandoning water supervision is not. You rotate the lifeguards or close the damn pool. Those are the options. Let's hope elementary school children supervise themselves was never number 3. You dumbasses. The pool has been closed while the incident is investigated. However, the popular soccer camp, which reportedly sells out regularly, is continuing through the end of the summer. You dirty bitches. Y'all should have stopped everything. Adonis survived because adults eventually acted. Eventually. Now investigators must determine why the safety system failed before anyone noticed he was missing beneath the water. Oh, Lord have mercy. What's wrong with y'all people? That is common sense. This should not be something people don't understand. Moving on. Bullshit doesn't get any better. A black family's fight for their enslaved ancestors' famous artworks. How? How do you keep something? Man... The descendants of David Drake, better known as David the Potter, are reclaiming the artwork and legacy their ancestor was never legally allowed to own. Drake was born around 1801, good Lord, and enslaved in Edgefield, South Carolina, sound about right, where he became an extraordinarily skilled ceramic artist. I told you, the worst of the worst grabbed the best of the best and brought us over here. Okay? Did you not know some of them chiefs were selling their adversaries? Anybody that was too smart, too strong, anyone that was a challenge. I learned that from a Kenyan woman. That was an act of resistance by itself because South Carolina law prohibited enslaved people from learning to write or read. Drake essentially looked at a system designed to erase him and signed the evidence that he existed. Hundreds of his vessels have survived, and some are now worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. They all should go to this family. Naturally, everybody could recognize the artist's value once museum collectors were making money. Recognizing his family's ownership rights apparently required a few additional centuries and several meetings. Drake's descendants formed the Dave the Potter Legacy Trust to recover his cultural and artistic legacy and monetary. Y'all motherfuckers owe them money. In a groundbreaking agreement, Boston's Museum of Fine Arts, I'm so ashamed, restored the ownership of the 2 1857 vessels to the family. The museum then purchased one back, while the other remains there on a long-term loan. You better have gave them a whole lot of money. I can't believe my birth city did this shit. The family chose that arrangement because they want the public to continue learning about Drake and what his work represents. Thank you. This is not about hiding history in somebody's living room. It is about deciding who has the right to control and interpret that history. Contemporary black artist Beaster Gates, I hope I said that right. Later announced that he would also give the family a David direct vessel from his private collection. What the fuck? Why do you have it? This is believed to be the first major art restitution agreement involving work taken from an artist under slavery. Yeah, y'all better get ready because we coming. Museums have long recognized claims involving artwork stolen during other historical atrocities, like how you pillaged the continent of Africa. But when slavery enters the conversation, suddenly everybody needs another legal opinion. Bitch, it doesn't belong to you. How about that? David never received ownership, payment, or the right to pass his creations to his children. His descendants cannot undo the theft, but they can restore his name, protect his work, and make sure that the world remembers him as an artist, a poet, and a human being, not merely Dave the enslaved potter. Why the shit? Why did that rhyme? Fuck. Anyways, let's keep moving. It gets me irritated. I mean, I've been irritated since I was born. I'm telling you, I wasn't even supposed to be able to walk. I was so pissed off. I was standing in my months. Anyways, with no assistance, accordingly. Moving on, because we need to. Fed court to decide landmark First Amendment case. And of course, here's a black man. Oh, what is this shit about? A federal appeals court is deciding whether 3 activists were convicted of an actual conspiracy or punished for expressing political opinions the government disliked. I think it's the second one, especially in this fucking day and age. The case involves the Uhuru 3, 84-year-old African People's Socialist Party leader Amali, Yeshitela. I hope I said that right. Reparations organizer Penny Hess and Jesse Neville. I think you kind of were better with those names. Gave me a break. I mean, the first one's great, but that was a challenge. Federal prosecutors accused them of acting as unregistered agents of Russia. What? By promoting messages opposing American support for Ukraine, criticizing U.S. treatment of black people, and advocating for reparations. Have you ever heard Russia ever ask for those two of those things? Opposing American support for Ukraine. I don't understand that one, but well, shit. I oppose all these wars really because shit, we need to mind our own business and work on ourselves. Real talk. But does that make me? Because I fucking have never been to Russia. I don't like Russia, and my only experience with Russia was a Russian prostitute in Busan who pulled my skirt up, mind you, dirty bastard. Anyways. In 2024, a Florida jury acquitted all 3 of actually operating as Russian agents. However, the jury convicted them of conspiring to act as unregistered Russian agents. Huh? Still don't make no sense. So according to the verdict, they did not commit the underlying offense, but they somehow conspired to commit the offense they were found not guilty of committing. You go ahead and rewind that because I'm not repeating that shit. Federal law has apparently entered its make it make sense era. The defendants appealed, and on July 22nd, 3 judges from the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals heard an oral argument in Atlanta. Their appeal makes 3 arguments. First, lawful political speech should not lose First Amendment protection simply because the government alleges that the speaker is connected to a foreign power. I still don't know how. Second, prosecutors allegedly failed to prove that the defendants agreed to act under direction or control of a Russian individual or organization, or that they knowingly violated a federal registration requirement. Y'all just don't like black people. Just tell us. Third, the defense argues that the jury instructions allowed a conspiracy conviction without sufficient proof of the underlying crime. The government maintains that the law is content neutral and criminalizes secretly working for a foreign government without registering. How the fuck are you? Regardless of whether the speech supports Russia, Israel, or other countries. Prosecutors argue that speech can be used as evidence of that relationship. I got in an argument with a pollster about Israel. I guess now I'm on the enemy list too, because no, I don't support them. They're their own country. Can't they support themselves now? Shit, they start fucking wars well enough. Why we got to deal with that shit? I ain't got no problem with Iran. I don't know nobody from Iran. And if I did, I still wouldn't have a problem. Shit. Why I got to be a part of this shit? The defense responds that political advocacy itself became the supposed criminal evidence, even though prosecutors did not charge the group with espionage, violence, or property destruction. That distinction matters. The First Amendment protects unpopular and even offensive political opinions. Go ask the KKK. We still can't get rid of them bitches. It does not protect secretly acting under a foreign government's direction. But you got no evidence. The court must now determine which one occurred here. Its ruling could influence how far the government may go in using foreign agent laws against American activists, journalists, or organizations engaged in dissenting political speech. Can I just stop for a moment and just say something? When the hell has Russia ever fought for reparations for Black Americans? I ain't never heard them say a damn thing about that. And when the hell have they sat up there and said that America is mistreating us? Because the last time I heard, they didn't like our asses either. Shit, make it make sense. Something wrong with y'all motherfuckers. And that's it, though, for the headline news. We about to get into news you need to use, because this shit right here is ridiculous. And I have questions. I really, really have questions. So here we go.
Message.
As America turns 250, our freedom didn't turn 250. I just want to point that out. So I will not be celebrating that shit. Don't ask me to. Its capital still can't vote. Can Puerto Rico vote? Because seriously, if they're a part of America, either they don't pay taxes because no taxation without representation, or you motherfuckers owe them some money or the ability to vote. I don't get it. So America just turned 250, if you want to declare that, declaring the government should represent the people. Meanwhile, roughly 700,000 Americans living in Washington, D.C. are still waiting for Congress to apply that principle to them. They better not be paying no taxation because you are not representing them if that's the case. Let's clarify the headline. D.C. residents can vote for the president because of the 23rd Amendment, and they elect their own mayor and city council. What they do not have is full voting representation in Congress, which means you cannot taxate them. You cannot tax them. No representation without taxation. No taxation without representation. They are not being represented. Bitch. DC has no senators. Its House delegate can introduce legislation, participate in debates, and vote in committees, but cannot cast a final vote on bills before the full House. What the hell is the purpose of that person? Are they just there to collect a check? So residents can watch laws being made, help discuss them, and pay for them. I still want to know about Puerto Rico and the other parts that are considered America. Can they vote? Are they being represented? Because I feel like they shouldn't be taxed if they're not being represented. Man, they just cannot vote on whether those laws can pass. It is democracy with a complimentary observation deck. You fucks. DC residents pay more federal taxes per person than residents of any state, and more federal income tax than residents of numerous states. You dirty, dirty bastards. They serve in the military, register for selective service, sit on juries, and fulfill the same obligations as other American citizens. Congress also retains power over DC's locally approved laws and budget. You dirty bastards. That means politicians elected by voters, man, y'all owe them some money. They should sue. Politicians elected by voters in other states can interfere with the decisions made by DC residents, while those residents have no senator or voting representative capable of defending them. The denial of representation has major racial implications. Because DC used to be Chocolate City before Atlanta took it. Washington has historically been a predominantly black city. It was when I went there, especially. And restricting its political power weakens the voices of hundreds of thousands of black residents. I can't stand y'all. In 2016 referendum, 86% of DC voters supported statehood. If not, they shouldn't have to pay taxes. Current proposal would preserve a smaller federal district containing buildings such as the White House, Capitol Supreme Court, and National Mall, while admitting the residential portions as a new state. Opponents raise constitutional and political objections, but here is the unavoidable contradiction. America staged its enormous 250th anniversary celebration in a city whose residents remain subject to taxation without full representation. Apparently, that revolutionary slogan comes with geographical terms and conditions. And somebody tell me about Puerto Rico. Do they pay taxes too? Are they represented? We need to talk about this shit. What about the Caribbean? Are they American? If they are, do they pay taxes? Why? Why if they're not represented? Damn it. I think we got more than 50 states. Y'all. Moving on. Automatic draft registration raises questions among young Americans. Now, I got a friend that's about a year or two younger than me. He wants to go back. How dare you grab people that are having these? I'm gonna tell you right now, real talk. I don't know these people, all of them, but I feel like these newer generations are a little too soft for this shit. Beginning in December 2026, the federal government will automatically register most eligible men between 18 and 25 with the Selective Service System. Now, before everybody starts packing emergency luggage, automatic registration does not mean America has activated a military draft. The United States has not drafted anyone since 1973. Starting an actual draft would require authorization from both Congress and the president. You've seen what's happened here. This change only affects how the government creates the list of people who could potentially be called if a draft were authorized. Under the old system, eligible men were responsible for registering themselves. Under the new system, the Selective Service will identify and enroll them using information already held by federal agencies, including names, addresses, birth dates, social security numbers, phone numbers, and emails. I suggest a mass immigration. I'm just saying, let's go to Canada. We're 13%. I'm pretty sure they can handle 13%. In other words, the government has decided that instead of asking young men to join the list, it will build the list itself. Very efficient, not remotely unsettling during an ongoing war. No, not at all. You trying to kill all of us. That's what he's doing. The requirement covers male U.S. citizens, permanent residents, refugees, asylum seekers. Oh, you can deport them, but you have no problem. You want to deport these people, but you have no problem with them serving the government. What the fuck? Asylum seekers, many parolees, and undocumented male immigrants between 18 and 25. This is some low down, dirty ass shit. Something. Are we proud yet? Because I ain't. People maintaining valid non-immigrant visas, including certain international students. So motherfuckers just trying to get into education. They ain't even trying to stay here. You can put them in. You are some dirty fuckers. And temporary workers are generally exempt. Generally. The rules remain based on sex assigned at birth. Transgender women assigned at birth must generally register, while transgendered men assigned female at birth generally do not. Women are still excluded from the registration requirement. Supporters say automation will improve accuracy. You are probably also very low IQ. Reduce administrative costs and prevent young men from unknowingly missing a legal requirement. What do you mean a legal requirement? We are not South Korea. Critics say collecting information across multiple federal database creates privacy risks, could expose immigrants and transgender people to additional government scrutiny, and quietly make large-scale mobilization easier. The practical takeaway is simple. Automatic registration is not enlistment, military contract, deployment order, or active draft notice. But if you receive a registration notice and believe you are exempt, or the information is incorrect, we're going to have a whole bunch of trans men running around here. Incorrect, do not ignore it. Follow the correction or appeal instructions, include with notice, and keep copies of everything. Because when the government automatically enters your name into a military database, I assume it was junk mail, is not the safest strategy. And these are some dirty ass bastards. They will pull you in here illegally so they don't have to put their kids in there. How is that fair? Moving on, because I'm holding everybody to the fire. The CBC is forgetting about the black working class. So the CBC is forgetting about the BWC. Former congressional candidate Morgan Harper is accusing the Congressional Black Caucus Political Action Committee of choosing corporate-friendly Democrats over candidates focused on the Black working class. I can see that. This is an opinion piece, so Harper is making a political argument, not purporting a proven conspiracy, but I can still see it. Her immediate examples come from Michigan. The CBC PAC endorsed centrist Representative Haley Stevens over progressive candidate Dr. Abdul El Saeed in the, I hope I said that right, in the Democratic Senate primary. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries, I don't trust him, also endorsed against Black progressive Donovan McKinney in Michigan's 13th congressional district race. Harper argues these choices reveal a decades-long divide between Black political leadership and working-class Black voters. She traces the split back to Jesse Jackson's populist presidential campaigns, which connected racial justice to universal health care, public investment, support for small businesses, and reducing poverty. According to Harper, Black political leadership later embraced the new Democrat philosophy under Bill Clinton, socially liberal on race, but fiscally conservative and friendly to corporations. You fucks. She argues that many congressional Black caucus members defended Clinton's economic agenda, then protected President Barack Obama even when his administration rescued major banks while Black families lost enormous amounts of housing and retirement wealth. Once again, I'm holding everybody to the fire. She also criticizes the CBC members for supporting Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders. I supported Hillary because I thought she was going to get pew-pew. I would rather her than anybody else. Sorry, I just don't want to lose any people we really need. No offense. Hey, how you doing? So anyways, she also criticized CBC supporting Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders in 2016 and for accepting money from the corporate PACs and AIPAC. I wanted Yao. He was going to give us all $1,000 for free. That's what he said. I wanted the $1,000. Shit. Harper contrasts that the establishment with a younger group of Black economic populists. Her full list includes Ayanna Pressley, who challenged the Democratic incumbent without corporate PAC money, Summer Lee, who supports breaking up monopolies, Chris Rabb, who ran an expanding public infrastructure, and Justice Pearson, who is campaigning to tax the wealthy. Please tax these wealthy. Fuck it. We could house every motherfucker if we tax these bastards. Especially the orangutan in the fucking White House. Her argument is not that Black representation is meaningless. It is that sharing our skin color does not automatically mean sharing our economic priorities. It sure in the hell don't. I don't trust a rich Black person the same as I don't trust a damn rich white person or anybody else rich, real talk. And there is the spicy little truth politicians hate. Representation gets you into the room, but policy determines whether anybody back home can afford rent, health care, groceries, and retirement. The CBC is also fighting serious attacks on Black voting rights, so its entire record cannot fairly be reduced to endorsements. But Harper's central question deserves an answer. Is the caucus using its power to protect Black working families or primarily protecting the political establishment that keeps its members in office? Look, I don't trust that damn Hakeem. I don't feel like he's strong enough. I don't really trust Corey. Shit, you know Booker. No, I need somebody that is not going to take money and will actually say, fuck this shit, help the people. God dang it. The same state where enslaved Africans first arrived will give Black voters the first voice in the 2028 Democratic race. Well, all right, let's see how that works. Black voters could receive the first major say in choosing the Democratic Party's 2028 presidential nominee. The Democratic National Committee's Rules and Bylaws Committee voted 26-19 to recommend South Carolina as the first primary state, defeating Nevada's bid for the opening position. However, this is not final yet. The full DNC must approve the calendar during the August meeting if approved. South Carolina's primary will take place on January 22nd, 2028. I just want him to go. I don't think we're going to make it to 2027. He got to go. The completed proposed early state order is South Carolina, Nevada, New Hampshire, a lot of news here, New Mexico, Michigan, and Virginia, all voting before Super Tuesday. Why does going first matter? Early states receive enormous campaign spending. It's a cash grab. Media coverage, candidate visits, and the power to create or destroy political momentum before most Americans vote. Black voters make up approximately 60% of South Carolina's Democratic electorate. Nationally, Black voters have Democratic presidential nominees have supported them at rates of roughly 80 to 90% since 1964. Let me stop real quick because I always have these weirdos coming in talking about the Republican is for Black people. It used to be. Now it's for rich fucks. You don't have to be any color but rich, okay? And like children, possibly. I don't know. You didn't hear that from me. So anyways, in 2024, approximately 83% back Kamala Harris. Did I say that right? I hope I said it right. So I'm just going to say her last name, Harris. I'm related to Harris's. So the party's most loyal voting bloc may finally get to examine the merchandise before everybody else starts placing orders. South Carolina's influence was demonstrated in 2020 when Black voters revived Joe Biden's struggling campaign and placed him on the path to nomination. You know, he was racist too in the 70s. I'm just saying. Biden later pushed South Carolina to lead the 2024 Democratic calendar. The decision also carries historic weight. An estimated 40 to 50% of enslaved Africans brought into what became the United States entered through Charleston Port. I did a DNA test. I got some people from there. Money, colored people. Yes, exactly. Money, colored people. That's what Republicans are. Money, colored people. Don't give a shit because I'm trying to figure out how the hell is it possible that R. Kelly might get out of jail? The fuck? Now, Black descendants in that same state could have the first vote in selecting a potential president. There is also an economic benefit. Presidential campaigns spend tens of millions of dollars on staff, transportation, advertising, event production, restaurants, and hotels in early primary states. Nevada supporters reasonably argue that its large Latino union, indigenous, Asian, and Asian American and working class electorate also deserves early influence. The debate shows why one state can never represent the entire Democratic coalition. But South Carolina's going first means candidates cannot treat Black voters like dependable relatives they ignore all year and suddenly call when they need help moving. We're going to put your foot to the fire. That's what we're saying. They will have to address Black voters' priorities first, earn their support, earn it, and demonstrate I need everything in writing, me. At this point, any fucking politician tell me anything, I need it in writing with your signature. And demonstrate our loyalty is valued before election day. I need everything in writing. Before a fucking politician get any fucking support from me, I need y'all asses to write it, put it in writing, okay? That's all I'm saying. Now, for anybody that's new to this channel or whatever, I'm just going to let you know this next thing is basically Black people getting terrorized by other groups and systems. So please don't feel offended. Plus that little tag at the bottom is for trolls. But I said what I said, and I'm not taking it back. All people are invited, but if you a guest, please make sure not to act a fool in my house. It's my house. That's all I got to say. That's it. So now we're going to go ahead and move into that. But before I do, I'm going to do my commercial real quick. If you like what I'm doing, if you don't like what I'm doing, hit me up in the comments. But please remember, I don't have a job, which means I have time, which means I can be petty, which means I'll make sure you never get your little clout. So please don't troll me. It's not worth the time. I'll make you disappear off my page. I really will. Anyways, here we go.
Me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. Yeah, yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little Tay, that's my girl, that's my mascot. No one's go for hours and some hours till we pass out. Stay inside the house, turned up with the racks out. Stay inside the house, turned.
I promise you, we getting out here early. So if you haven't heard about this, now you have. Assholes administration reveals it canceled clean energy grants for states that voted for Kamala Harris in 2024 election. Woo! You see what I changed it to? I meant what I said. I said what I said. The Trump administration has admitted in federal court that hundreds of clean energy grants were canceled based on whether the projects were located in states that voted for Kamala Harris. Not because the projects failed, not because they were too expensive, not because recipients violated their agreements. The Department of Energy stipulated that the deciding factor was the state's political identity. I think that's illegal. In September 2025, the Energy Department sent the Office of Management and Budget a list of 624 grants recommended for cancellation. The OMB ultimately selected 284 grants for termination, with one exception. Every canceled grant involved a recipient or a project located in a state that supported Harris and had two Democratic-aligned senators. I'm telling you, that's illegal. Meanwhile, approximately 340 grants located in the states that voted for Trump or had at least one Republican-aligned senator were not canceled. The Energy Department's court filing says that the different treatment was not based on program performance, legal requirements, cost reduction, or current agency priorities. It was based solely on whether a project was in what states officials classified as a blue or a non-blue state. So much for representing all Americans. Apparently, federal funding now comes with a loyalty points program. I'm gonna need some of my money back then. Shit, any taxes I paid, y'all gonna have to run that back. What was it? Representation, taxation. You are not representing me fully. I should not be taxed fully. The cancel project involved clean energy research, infrastructure, university, private companies, and programs intended to create jobs and lower energy costs. The people affected were not only Democratic politicians, they were workers, researchers, businesses, and families who may or may not have voted for Harris at all. The admission emerged from a class action lawsuit filed by the University of California researcher who argued that the cancellations were unlawful political retaliation. Duh. That's all we've been dealing with is a bunch of high school fucking drama from some piss poor, bad acting, stupid idiots. This is not yet a final court ruling the administration broke the law. It should be, but the factual admission itself is extraordinary. Similarly, I hate that word, situated grants received different treatments because of their state's election results. Earlier, the administration also attempted to freeze $10 billion in social service funding for 5 Democratic-led states before reversing course. It later released more than $5 billion in delayed disaster assistance, while reportedly excluding several states led by governors Trump had publicly attacked, although Homeland Security denied political influence in that decision. Oh my God, we're going to have to do house cleaning. Shit. The demons all up in the fucking White House. Presidents may set policy priorities. What they should not do is treat federal tax dollars like personal allowance money and punish millions of Americans because their state rejected them. Bitch, you do your job right, we wouldn't reject you, you stupid ass baby. I can't stand that man or his fucking shit. Here we go again. Here goes some more shit. Another fucking data center. Piss me off with this shit. Look at this. Data center deal, but Bessemer's public in the dark. Officials in majority black Bessemer, Alabama, signed a sweeping non-disclosure agreement that prevented residents from learning critical details about one of the world's largest proposed data centers. In other words, you're going to have to pay for all of what they need, and they're going to take, including your water. The development, called Project Marvel, of course it would cover 4.5 million square feet across 1,600 acres of forest. That is approximately the footprint of 18 Walmart super centers. And somehow city officials thought the appropriate public information strategy was hush baby. The developers are talking. I hope they sue all of y'all. Mayor Kenneth Gully, Chief of Staff Christopher Warrer, and City Attorney Aaron Killings signed the confidential agreement. The document reportedly prohibited the city from releasing site plans, environmental reports, studies, or even the identities of the companies behind the project. It also required city officials to destroy documents and notes that the developers classified as confidential. Man, y'all motherfuckers, where's my shit again? Because I swear, I hate this country sometimes. I really do. And y'all can kiss my ass. You're not representing us. Can I get it to work, please? Oh, it don't want to work.
You ungrateful heap.
It worked enough. Anyways, the documents reportedly prohibited the city. Let's see here. That is not an ordinary business privacy. That is a private company handling local government and eraser and deciding that the public is permitted to know what the public is permitted to know. The agreement only became public after the Southern Environmental Law Center and Alabama Rivers Alliance threatened legal action. The city had previously denied an open record request for the very document designed to prevent public disclosure, despite Alabama laws requiring access to government records. QTS Data Center has since been identified as one of the companies behind Project Marvel. The company says it is committed to transparent community engagement. You a fucking liar. Sir, you cannot announce your commitment to transparency behind an NDA that reportedly tells public officials to destroy their notes. That is not transparency. That is a window painted on a brick wall. The proposed facility could use as much as 1,200 megawatts of electricity, approximately 90 times the annual power consumed by Bessemer's roughly 25,000 residents. It could also require at least 2 million gallons of water every fucking day. Residents feared the project could drain local water and electrical infrastructure. What the hell you think it's going to do? Increase pollution and deepen existing environmental inequalities. The city has already rezoned the property from agricultural to industrial, rezoned it, which means they might be stealing someone's house. The data center may create investment and jobs, but residents deserve to know the permanent cost before officials approve the deal, because that damn center is only going to be built temporarily. Once it's done, those jobs end. Where the fuck is that going to happen? What the fuck is going to happen to the families then? When a project may consume more resources than an entire black city, secrecy is not economic development. Who the hell you think going to be paying for that extra fucking electricity? You? It is removing the public from decisions whose consequences they will be forced to live with. If all of them fuckers have to move out, guess what? You ain't gonna have nobody to pay for that electricity. That's all I'm gonna say. And I feel like that needs to happen. I'm sick of y'all motherfuckers. For real. This is ignorant and I'm tired of this shit. Y'all are some ignorant bastards doing that shit. But that is it for people terrorizing black folks. It is now time to go check out playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes. And believe me, there's been a few games being played, and I'm glad to report them. Check it out.
I don't want the second, I want this. I'm all in my head, swear I'm a wreck. I've been moving like a hot mess.
All right, so Black Louisiana pastor found guilty of stealing $340K from his congregation. I'm not lying. A Louisiana pastor has been convicted of stealing more than $340,000 from two churches and using the money for gambling, restaurants, hotels, living expenses, and even a veterinarian bill. Apparently, give and it shall be given unto you became give, and I shall take this debit card straight to the casino. 56-year-old Dale, you look like a Dale, Sanders served as pastor of 5th African Baptist Church in New Orleans and 2nd New Guide Missionary Baptist in Metairie. I knew it was Louisiana. Louisiana has a lot of fucking corruption. It don't matter what color they are. Federal prosecutors say that between April 2020 and April 2024, Sanders transferred church money into accounts he controlled, withdrew funds, and used a church debit card for unauthorized personal purchases. The expense reportedly included $1,300 at a Mississippi casino, probably in Biloxi, $1,172 at Hard Rock Hotel in Florida, a $5,000 church check, and $226 veterinarian bill. What the fuck was the pet getting? Now, I love animals, but unless that dog was ordained in preparing a Sunday sermon, the congregation should not have to be paying its medical expenses. Sanders was convicted following a 5-day federal trial. A jury found him guilty on 25 counts involving wire fraud, access device fraud, and obstruction of a federal investigation. And because stealing the money apparently was not foolish enough, prosecutors say Sanders also submitted a falsified record after receiving a federal grand jury subpoena. After his indictment, Sanders posted a video asking church members to pray for his enemy and suggested God would deal with the people who had spoken against him. They probably have blessings coming. Pastor, the enemy was not outside the church. According to the verdict, the enemy had access to the church's bank account and knew the debit card PIN. Sanders previously insisted that he was a giver who had worked without pay and would never steal from a church. You going to hell. The jury examined the financial evidence and responded with 25 separate variations of "we do not believe you." His sentencing is sentenced for October 13th. He faces up to 20 years in federal prison, a fine of $250,000 or twice the financial gain or loss, up to 3 years of supervised release, and a mandatory $100 assessment for every count. He gambled with the congregation's money. Now the federal sentencing guidelines are preparing to collect the stupid prize. So have fun, sir. I don't feel bad for you. Black journalist is awarded $2.4 million in discrimination lawsuit against New York's news station. Ooh, she rich. So, federal jury has awarded veteran black journalist Ojenika more than $2.4 million after finding the New York television station PIX-11 retaliated against her for complaining about racial discrimination. OG, because I'm not saying all that, worked at the station for 22 years and became an Emmy award-winning reporter and entertainment anchor. She alleged that after 2017 promotion, the station assigned her an overwhelming workload without providing the producers, researchers, compensation, or support given to white male colleagues performing comparable jobs. OG raised her concerns with management and human resources. Instead of fixing the alleged inequality, the station terminated her in January 2023. I can see that happening. They done that shit to me before when I reported shit. Because nothing says we take workplace discrimination seriously, quite like removing a black woman who reported it. PX11 initially argued that OG was dismissed because of poor performance and insubordination. Her legal team said the station later changed its explanation, claiming that it simply chose not to renew her contract without identifying a specific reason. You can't do that and take it back. The jury apparently found the station's explanation about as stable as folding chair on the gravel. OG was awarded approximately $1.14 million in compensatory damages, emotional distress, and $1.28 million in punitive damages, brings the total to more than $2.4 million. Please invest correctly, ma'am. The distinction matters. Compensatory damages address what happened to OG. Punitive damages are intended to punish particularly harmful conduct and discourage companies from just trying that foolishness again. The verdict does not mean every allegation of unequal treatment was independently proven exactly as described. The central legal finding was that PIX-11 and its parent company, Nexstar Media Group, retaliated against OG after she complained about racial discrimination. Nexstar declined to comment following the verdict. Of course you did. OG says the victory restored her professional reputation and belongs to everyone who has experienced workplace dismissing treatments, but feared speaking up. I can't talk tonight. The practical lesson for employees is simple. When an employee reports discrimination, investigate the complaint fairly and document the process. Do not punish the complainant and then arrive in federal court with an explanation that changes outfits halfway through the course. PIX-11 played the retaliation game. The jury delivered a $2.4 million stupid-ass prize. Congratulations. I hope you feel good about that shit. Keep on moving. Professor sets an AI trap and catches 32 students red-handed. A Mississippi professor caught 32 out of 35 students allegedly using artificial intelligence to complete part of their midterm. Once again, complacency strikes again. Not through expensive detection software, not through a digital forensic investigation. He caught them with one word: Madagascar. Dr. Jason Gibson, a history professor at Alcorn State University, assigned students at a discussion response about the Industrial Revolution and its continuing impact on society. Inside the assignment instructions, he placed a sentence in white fonts with a white background. Students reading the distinction normally could not see it, but anyone copying the entire prompt into an AI's chatbot would also copy the hidden command. The command told the AI to place the word Madagascar somewhere in the response in a way that made absolutely no sense. And 32 students allegedly walked directly in the academic mousetrap. Your fault. One submission reportedly declared Madagascar float sideways through the afternoon. I didn't know that. Another included Madagascar purple bicycle whispers to the ceiling. The fuck? Baby, the Industrial Revolution produced factories, steam engines, and mass manufacturing. Did not produce islands drifting through lunchtime while bicycles discuss architecture. And if I ever see that shit, somebody lock me up. Gibson says the strangest part was not simply that students apparently used AI, it was that they submitted the answers without proofreading them. Complacency. All 32 students failed the portion of the midterm. Gibson then explained the trap and allowed anyone who believed they had been penalized unfairly to challenge the grade. Girl, yes, all the laughs. That detailed matters because instructors should allow students to explain evidence rather than treating every flag as automatic guilt. Look, I use AI, but damn it, I also write down every fucking thing that I do before I fucking submit it. I also check over the shit that the damn AI said. Look what I'm dealing with here. The broader lesson is not that all AI use is cheating. Students can use it to explain concepts, improve drafts, organize ideas, or receive feedback when instructors permit it. The problem is submitting machine-generated work as your own without reading it, understanding it, or removing the sentence where Madagascar puts on a toaster and attends a basketball game. 32 students played copy, paste, submit. Professor Gibson returned that stupid prize with a grade attached. Maybe the computer won't take over after all. Girl, they better not. I done had to teach Aisha. I ain't came back yet. I sent feedback. I'm like, hello, this thing is giving me wrong information or not answering at all. And this is supposed to be Black owned. Please fix it. I'll go back maybe later, but for now, hell no, because you ain't going to have me reporting something stupid. Moving on, because guess who popped up again? And I want y'all to look at the date because this is not a repeat. Look at the date. Yeah, yesterday. Black social media turns to memes and comfort as Nancy Grace covers Nolan Wells' case. And somebody tell Tatum to shut the fuck up. Ooh, he get on my nerves. Black social media has found an unexpected source of comfort in the Nolan Wells case. Nancy Grace. Yes, that Nancy Grace. I saw her all the time, after school, all the time, on the TV. I didn't watch her. Someone else did. I couldn't change the channel. Yes, that Nancy Grace. Her relationship with the Black community has not always been warm, but people are desperate for answers. If Nancy is willing to apply that relentless turtleneck-powered interrogation energy to Nolan's case, Black folks have temporarily accepted the alliance, and naturally, the reactions arrive as memes. One user saw Nancy's freshly fluffed hair and declared someone is finna go to jail. That is fluffy hair. Another praised her turtleneck blouse as the official look of justice and warned Mississippi to start counting its days. A third announced that Auntie Nancy, she's our auntie now, has been activated. So everybody is going to jail. Someone predicted she would turn betwixt the entire case into a revelation station through the power of every edge in her bob. And that is a very sharp ass bob. I ain't gonna lie. Another said Black social media called Nancy Grace's name 3 times like Candyman, and she suddenly appeared ready to put somebody in handcuffs. Is she in law? Anyways, TikTok creator Myron DTM said Nancy's coming out of apparent retirement means results. Commentators added that her fresh bob and smoky eye meant jail was approaching. I did not look at her that closely to see that shit. Y'all looking too close. While another, they look bloodshot if you ask me. While another predicted she would interview the fish in the water if that is what was solving the case required. Shit, I would too. Another creator enacted Nancy clocking into work by shaking a bob because officially she has officially the bob for the job. Diamond, the entertainer, predicted Nancy would turn the involved every which way but loose. One thread user crowned her the John Wick of true crime. TikTok creator Just Nene warned that anyone responsible would receive no peace, nor would the generations behind them. Another creator staged a fake telephone call just to thank Nancy personally. Rick Speaks described her as a white woman who white womans for the right reasons. Well, all right. And one final user made it clear that Nancy would not be playing Blues Clues with investigations. The memes are funny, but Nancy Grace is a commentator and not law enforcement, and no one has been charged with harming Nolan. Her coverage cannot establish guilt. What it can do is keep national attention on Nolan, challenge conflicting accounts, and pressure authorities to answer questions his family has been asking from the beginning. Black social media is not celebrating anyone's conviction. It is celebrating the possibility that somebody with a microphone, a bob, and absolutely no indoor voice may refuse to let Nolan's story disappear. Look, I do have a one. For some reason, when the mic gets in my face, I feel like I gotta scream. I don't know why. But anyways, that's it for playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes. FAFO for people who don't know. Now we're going to go ahead into part 16 of the conversation between Nikki and James, because let's just be for real. Everything that's been happening in Black history and these conversations sounds like it happened recently, and that is terrifyingly true. Check it out. Here we go.
Imagination. You know, in, how can I put it? The reason we are forced to become more and more open, overt, is because, in fact, when you walk down the street, going back now to the black man, black woman thing, you're my wife, my sister, and my mother. I know very well that people are looking at you, know nothing whatever about you. Nothing at all. You know, if it's Marilyn Monroe or Pat Nixon, you know, they know or think they know, you know. But until this century begins to apprehend the experience out of which Alina Horn comes, you know, for example, or Ethel Waters, or you, or Paul Robeson, or Aretha Franklin. Because white people, or Ray Charles, they don't know what that comes out of. There's no metaphor in their experience for it. Or the metaphor in their own experience is so deeply buried and so frightening. Because you see, the reason that people think it's important to be white is they think it's important not to be black. They think it's important to be white because white means you are civilized, and being black means you're not civilized. And it's yet to be apprehended in any way whatever that in fact I will not be able to walk the streets or even look at you or you at me or do whatever we do in our terrible days, day to day, if we were not civilized. You know, but we represent a civilization. I don't mean merely literally the African civilization or the Indian civilization or whatever. I mean a sense of life, which is the only thing that civilizes anybody, which for mercantile commercial reasons, to put it a little bit too simply, the rise of Europe attempted to destroy. I say attempted to destroy because it did not in fact destroy it. It dispersed it, and under that pressure, it began to become something else. What it comes to is I'm civilized in a way that Englishmen are not. You know, because I've had to depend on a principle which Europeans have learned to distrust. Does that make sense to you?
sort of on one level, and because I tend to be slow sometimes, not sort of on another. What I'm trying to ask maybe is, and that's a dirty trick you just did. What I'm trying to ask though, like, do you think that you would ever write, say, a work of fiction, or maybe even a work of nonfiction that did not include white people? It was just about some groovy black people that you knew. You know, in terms of characters, in terms of who you're speaking to and why. You think that's, I mean, you know what I mean?
I do. Well, how can I answer it? I'm working on something now which are no white people. But I'm also working on a novel which, for the most part, takes place in Europe. And it's, again, to simply concern the situation of an Arab in France. Now, in that context, I don't know. You know, the Arab is certainly a nigger in France, or he would be a Puerto Rican in New York, you know, or a Mexican in California. And what I'm trying to, it's very dangerous to talk about something here I'm finished.
I will understand that.
What I'm trying to get at is my apprehension anyway, in the crisis of this age. You know, and the crisis is something to do with identity, and that is something to do with buried histories. Not merely our histories are buried, but as we said before, when I was talking about, you know, doing my homework on Brixton, doing homework on the English working class, that history is buried too. You know, we were talking about liberation, we were talking about writing. What a writer is always doing, whether or not he knows it, is he has to go to the source, because there isn't anything else to work from. You know, you can't work from other people's assumptions. You have to work out of what you discover are your own.
All right, so we're going to keep moving and talk about this man, James Baldwin, at 101. His genius influenced black musicians. Like I updated the age, but yeah, this was an old one. I'm not sure if I reported it before, but I'm going to report it again if y'all forgot. So James Baldwin would be 101 years old today and would turn 102 on August 2nd. Although he died in 1987, America keeps dragging his words back into the conversation, mainly because America keeps repeating the same foolishness he warned us about decades ago. Born in Harlem in 1924, Baldwin became one of America's most fearless writers. Through works like Notes of a Native Son, Giovanni's Room, The Fire Next Time, and If Beale Street Could Talk, he confronted racism, sexuality, oppression, identity, and the complicated relationship between black people and a country that demands our loyalty while repeatedly mishandling our humanity. Baldwin's influence did not remain trapped inside a library. The article connects his legacy to Kendrick Lamar, Beyonce, Rhymefest, Michelle Ndeji, you know that lady, J. Cole, and Solange, you know, Ndeji Jello, it ended with cello. Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly carries Baldwin's examination of systemic racism and black liberation. Beyonce's Lemonade explores black identity, womanhood, pain, resilience, and love. Themes Baldwin spent his career examining with surgical precision. Rhymefest's album James and Nikki, A Conversation, was inspired by Baldwin's legendary 1971 discussion with poet Nikki Giovanni, which we just watched. He even incorporated Baldwin's voice into the music, addressing family grief, injustice, and generational trauma. Meanwhile, Michelle, I ain't saying that last name again, created No More Water, The Gospel of James Baldwin, a musical project inspired by Baldwin's writing, particularly The Fire Next Time. J. Cole and Solange also reflect his blend of personal storytelling and social criticism. Baldwin understood something America still pretends not to understand. Racism does not merely damage its target. It morally corrupts the people and institutions committed to maintaining it. That is why his words still sound current. not because Baldwin predicted the future, but because the country keeps recycling the past and calling it breaking news. James Baldwin has been gone for nearly 4 decades, but his voice remains alive in our books, our music, our politics, and every uncomfortable truth America keeps trying to mute. Moving on, because now we got some more history. We're making history. Look at this. Sha'Carri, Richardson, Noah Lyles win U.S. 100-meter titles at U.S. Nationals. This is another moment for Black history. Sha'Carri, Richardson, and Noah Lyles just reminded everybody that when it comes to American sprinting, the road to first place still runs directly to them, through them. At the 2026 U.S. Track and Field Championship in New York, Richardson won the women's 100-meter title in 10.77 seconds. I ain't chasing her, tying her best time of the season. She tied with herself. Richardson did not have the fastest start, but by roughly the 40-meter mark, she had caught the field. Then she changed gears and pulled away like the finish line owed her money. Her training partner, Kayla White, finished second in 10.90 seconds. I ain't chasing her. While Tamari Davis placed third in 11 seconds flat. I couldn't do any seconds. This is Richardson's third national outdoor title in the 100 meters. It also marks an important comeback after injuries disrupted her previous season. Following the race, Richardson said she felt phenomenal to be competing from a healthier place, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And about 8 minutes later, Noah Lyles apparently said, "That looked fun. Let me do it too." Lyles also trailed during the early portion of the men's final before storming past the field to win in 9.79 seconds. I ain't chasing his ass. That tied his personal best. I'm glad we're hearing good things about her because sometimes she be acting. Yeah, I know. That is, but anyways, let's see where he said he did his personal best too, set a new world leading time for 2026 and earned him his third U.S. championship in the 100 meters. Ronnie Baker and Kenny Bednarek, I ain't saying that name again, both finished in 9.88 seconds, but Baker claimed second place by just 0.05 of a second. Who the hell's counting that? That is not winning by a hair. That is winning by one follicle submitting its paperwork before the other. Lyles, whose signature event has traditionally been the 200-meter, celebrated the victory with his usual confidence. He said he had only been playing around this year before warning his competition, "I'm scared for y'all next year." That's a threat. Sha'Carri Richardson is healthy and winning again. Noah Lyles is matching personal records while allegedly playing around. Are they together? I thought they were together. That is 2 national championships, 2 comeback victories, and one very clear message. America's fastest are still Black, brilliant, and extremely difficult to catch. I ain't chasing them. Shit. I'll be somewhere about 1 million seconds by the time I finish. Anyways, that's it for that. And now some I don't know news, because I really don't know what the hell is wrong with the damn kids. When you see this, you'll understand. And maybe I'm just old, but I don't understand why this is an issue. So here it goes, because you'll understand what I mean when you see it. This is some stupid ass shit is what I'm trying to say. It is really, really some stupid ass shit.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
So, Tuskegee University's new dress code bans bonnets, do-rags, and bedroom shoes in class. I never could do that at all. The only time we could come in our PJs was if it was freaking Pride Week. Damn it. The hell? Tuskegee University is introducing new campus rules, and apparently bonnets, do-rags, bedroom shoes, and cell phones have all been dismissed from the class, as they should. University President Dr. Mark A. Brown announced that students will no longer be permitted to wear bonnets. Why did you go there with your bonnet in the first place? Do-rags. I hate answering the door with a do-rag. Bedroom shoes or revealing clothing inside classrooms, dining facilities, or official university events such as the convocation. I can't believe I said that word. Students should also arrive on campus preparing for professional occasions, including having a business suit and appropriate shoes available. Damn, that's a little too much, though. Faculty members will be authorized to address students to ignore the dress code. Oh, thank goodness. And I also agree with the ban. Bonnets and do-rags serve an important purpose, protecting our hair. But every useful item does not belong in every setting. Pajamas serve a purpose too, but I did not see SpongeBob sleep pants representing the group project. Tuskegee is not banning bonnets or do-rags from existence. The university is establishing standards for shared academic and professional spaces. There is a difference between protecting Black culture and pretending that time, place, and occasion no longer matter. Shit, I'm still fucked up by the people running around with no sleeves on at work. I'm from that generation, okay? The rules also, let me see here now. The rule go beyond appearance. Students will not be allowed to use cell phones, as they shouldn't, during class unless directed by the professor. Devices must be turned off to prevent disruption, and attendance will be monitored more closely, as it should be. Tuskegee is also requiring students to complete internships, create resumes, visit the career center, and identify professional certifications before graduation. That's what I'm talking about. Here we go. More than 30 certifications, and I was not twerking. I was clapping my hands in case anybody got the wrong idea. More than 30 certifications will reportedly be available at no additional cost. Thank you. President Brown says the policies are not intended to restrict Tuskegee experiment. Man, wear that shit at the pajama party. Damn, that's a part of the experiment too. Experience. They are meant to prepare students for the workforce, and that is the part people should not ignore. Students are paying thousands of dollars and sometimes borrowing thousands of more. I had to freaking ask them not to, and I still broke shit. To receive an education and become professionally competitive. Expecting them to attend class, put down the phone, dress appropriately, and prepare for employment is not oppression. That is called having standards. That's why you have a public bathroom. You get up early enough, you get dressed, and you take your ass to class. Then you can fuck off after your classes. I don't know why expecting college students to look awake, remain attentive, and dress like they left the bedroom voluntarily has become controversial. Tuskegee is preparing students to enter a world that will not always give them grace. Teaching discipline before graduation is not disrespecting them. It is investing in them, because I promise you, the minute you allow this shit to happen to motherfucking people over on that right side who really want to put us back in chains, oh, they gonna have a field day. Ooh, let me bring that down. That's culture. But anyways, that's that. And let's go to culture, because I fucked up again. We're gonna get out of here as early as I can get you out here, because we ain't got a whole bunch of stories. I promise you, we almost done. Here we go. Where's culture? Culture. There you go. All right, at 108 years old, this independent Black woman shares her tips for a long, fulfilling life. Somebody get out the notebook. We need to take notes. At 108, and girl, she looked good for her age. She walking, she standing on her own. God bless her. At 108 years old, Susan Young, it's a Black Susan. That's the third one I'd have seen. Susan Young Brown is still living independently, exercising every morning, attending workout classes, and driving her blue Subaru wherever she needs to go. Do they still make those? Meanwhile, some of us make one suspicious knee noise, getting off the couch, and immediately begin researching assisted living. Born in Delaware in 1918, a year before my grandma. Brown grew up on a farm without electricity or running water during segregation. Because free public high school was not available to Black students in her area, her family had to pay for her education. She graduated from what is now Delaware State University in 1945 with a degree in elementary education, and is reportedly the university's oldest living alumna. Brown then spent 30 years teaching, beginning her career inside, a one-room schoolhouse. My grandma, that's how she went to school. Today, she still lives in the house she has occupied for more than 70 years. She has driven for over 8 decades and recently renewed her driver's license through 2033, if we make it, when she should be or would be 115. Brown shared 5 lessons for her living a long, active life. First, keep moving. Every morning, she completes a 10-minute routine involving stretching, strengthening, and balance exercises. She also attends chair dancing classes 3 times a week. Second, eat healthy food. She enjoys chicken, apples, peaches. I don't like peaches. Blueberries, black coffee, yuck, cranberry juice, that's all right, and the occasional frozen waffle. She avoids fried foods, alcohol, damn, and most sugar. Although her homemade 7-Up cake gets a special exemption because even longevity understands boundaries. Third, maintain your independence. Widowed twice, Brown has no plans to marry again. I should hope not. Her explanation was beautifully direct. I'm not taking care of another man. Makes sense. Fourth, keep your mind busy. She reads romance novels, completes puzzles, and works word games, attends church, socializes, and participates in her sorority. Which one? Fifth, expand your horizon. Brown has traveled to Alaska, Hawaii, Spain, Portugal, Brazil, and other destinations. Her advice is not built around expensive treatments or magical supplements harvested under a full moon. It is movement, healthy choices, independence, mental activity, and curiosity. At 108, Susan Young is now not merely growing older. She is actively living and apparently has places to be, so kindly move out of the Subaru's way. I ain't getting in the damn way. That woman has things to do. Moving on. Can the black church be reimagined? Harlem First thinks so. I don't know, because I'm still trying to find a church that I feel comfortable with on a Saturday, because I still am stuck on that one. As churches across the country face declining attendance, especially among younger adults, one Harlem minister is asking whether the black church needs to stop mourning what is used to be and start imagining what it could become. On July 19th, Reverend Dr. Ebony Marshall Turman launched Harlem First, an emerging Christian fellowship she hopes will eventually become Harlem First Baptist Church. But instead of opening inside a traditional sanctuary, its first public gathering was held at Ailey City Group Theater inside the Ailey School. I hope I said that right. The location was intentional. Marshall Turman is a former dancer, a womanist theologian, and an author, and an associate professor of theology and African American religion at Yale University. She's smart. She wants Harlem First to combine faith with black culture, scholarship, education, and community engagement. I thought that's what the church was. The fellowship is being redesigned around one central idea or designed: belonging. Marshall Turman believes many younger people have not necessarily abandoned faith. They have walked away from churches where they felt judged, ignored, or treated like their questions required an exorcism instead of an honest answer. Harlem First plans to include children as active participants in worship instead of decorative accessories brought out for Easter speeches. It also intends to feature diverse leadership, literature, poetry, dance, music, and educational opportunities. Its theology will directly address the intersections of religion, race, gender, class, sexuality. Marshall Turman says that approach reflects her understanding of Jesus and his inclusivity. She also wants to bring more women into visible positions of moral leadership. According to Marshall Turman, Harlem's church tradition has been dominated by male leadership for decades. Harlem First has been developed by a team rather than around one celebrity pastor. Marshall Turman and Reverend C. Anthony Bryant spent nearly 3 years praying, planning, and shaping the vision. And the distinction matters. Reimagining the black church cannot simply mean mood lightening, a coffee bar, and the same judgment wearing skinny jeans. Okay, that's horrible. Harlem First is attempting something deeper, preserving black church history as center of faith, education, culture, and justice, while creating room for people traditional churches have pushed to the margins. Whether the fellowship grows into its full vision remains to be seen, but it's asking an important question. If people no longer feel welcome inside the church, should the church blame the people or examine itself? I think it should examine itself. I'm sorry to say that. You can only change the church as much as it before it's a club or yeah, true, very true. You can't do all of that either, because TPS USA, yeah, that was great. All right, time for news on education, and then we're gonna do business, and then here comes celebrities, because I told you we ain't gonna be here all night. I made sure of that. Here we go Where the hell is this news on education? There it is. Sorry. Here we go. Education 101. Learning the ABCs of autism among Black girls. New research and educators are raising concerns that Black girls with autism or ADHD are frequently misdiagnosed, diagnosed late, or overlooked entirely. And no, Black girls are not suddenly developing autism. Professionals are becoming better at recognizing what was already there. For decades, autism research and diagnostic standards were largely shaped around how symptoms appeared in boys. Girls may present differently. Some learn to imitate social behaviors, rehearse conversations, suppress repetitive movements, or force eye focus contact to avoid appearing different, a practice often called masking or camouflaging. They may have intense interests that appear socially typical, communicate well in certain settings, or perform strongly in school while privately struggling with sensory overload, exhaustion, anxiety, or social confusion. The race adds another layer. The behavior of Black girls is often interpreted through stereotypes. A child who is overwhelmed may be labeled as disrespectful. One who withdraws may be called antisocial. Difficulty concentrating may be treated as laziness, while emotional distress becomes attitude problem. Apparently, she has an attitude remains America's favorite unofficial diagnosis for girls, Black girls. According to the report, delayed or incorrect diagnosis can contribute to serious educational, medical, and employment consequences. Girls may experience anxiety, low self-esteem, and suicidal thoughts without understanding why everyday environments feel so difficult. I think I need to get screened again. CDC data also shows autism continues to be identified for more often in boys than girls, although experts say differences in its presentation and recognition may contribute to that gap. Separately, research has found that Black children can face long delays between their family's initial concerns and receiving an autism diagnosis. I got a bunch of nieces and nephews with it. A proper evaluation is not about attaching a negative label to a child. It can provide access to individualized education, plans, classroom accommodations, therapy, sensory support, and a clear understanding of how that child learns and communicates. Parents and educators should pay attention to persistent patterns across different settings, not diagnose children through TikTok or treat one personality trait as a medical proof. Black girls deserve to be understood before they are disciplined, supported before they are overwhelmed, and evaluated without racial or gender stereotypes deciding the outcome first. Because a child cannot receive the right support when when every warning sign is dismissed as bad behavior. That is so true. Now, moving on to business, or as I like to say, financial news. This one is a good one too. Meet Chaz and Chase Clemens, the 16-year-old founders of viral Glizzy Street Hot Dogs. I'm not sure how I feel about that name. 16-year-old twin brothers Chaz and Chase Clemens are proving that a business does not need to begin with a venture capital, a corner office, or 47-slide presentation containing the word synergy. Sometimes it starts with $400, a bacon-wrapped hot dog, and a bacon-wrapped hot dog. The Long Beach brothers saved $400 by working weekends at their family's gas station. In 2025, they used that money to launch Glizzy Street, a hot dog stand operating outside the station. Before opening, the twins created a budget, studied projects, profits and losses, planned their menu, found a cart, and with the help from their older brother, learned how to cook something beyond an egg sandwich. Lord, y'all should do more than that too. Their first day brought only 20 customers. I think that's pretty good. Then a video documenting their business journey went viral, and the lines began forming before the stand even opened. Their $5 bacon-wrapped hot dogs eventually attracted customers from across California and helped Glizzy Street build an audience of more than 450,000 social media followers. 1 year later, Chaz and Chase are no longer merely learning how to operate a hot dog cart. They're developing standard operating procedures, expanding their team, researching franchising, and planning to grow throughout California and eventually nationwide. They have also received business guidance from Raising Cane's founder, Todd Graves. The twins said their lessons on maintaining a simple product, building a dependable team, and creating consistent procedures and giving back were more valuable than money. Lizzie Street recently celebrated its first anniversary through a community event with Raising Cane's and the city of Long Beach. The celebration included a giveaway of 1,000 bacon-wrapped hot dogs. Giving back has become part of their company's identity. The brothers credit their schools, local officials, family, and Long Beach residents with supporting them from the beginning. Now, let's be clear. Going viral does not automatically create a sustainable company. Attention may bring customers once. Quality, consistency, and solid operations bring them back. And these young men already understand that. At 16, Chaz and Chase are discussing scaling operating procedures and franchising community investment. Some adults still create a cash app account and immediately place CEO in the biography. I do not. Glizzy Street may sell hot dogs, but its founders are building a real business, and they are online only getting started. Good for them. Shit, I think I need to at this point. Moving on, we are now about to go ahead and get into celebrity, so you already know that's the end of the night coming up. Before I do that, I gotta go shout out this company. It is Black owned and women owned. If you like CBD and you like your lips popping, you might want to look into this. It's CBD Honey Lips. You can find them on Threads, Instagram, and Twitch. Here you go. Once again, that is CBD Honey Lips. You can find them on Twitch, Instagram, and Threads. Moving on, it is time for celebrity news. Here we go. Give me a second here.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So, David Johnson to play T'Challa's son in Black Panther 3 arriving December 2028. I hope they better do it. I hate when they say something they don't do it. So let's talk about it. Wakanda is officially returning, and Marvel has finally answered one of the biggest questions surrounding the franchise. Who will be the next Black Panther? At San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel Studios announced that British actor, why is it always British? David Johnson will play an adult prince, the T'Challa II, in Black Panther 3, arriving in theaters on December 15th, 2028. Now let us clear up the family tree before the multiverse arrives and makes everybody somebody's variant. Johnson is not recasting Chadwick Boseman's King T'Challa. He will portray the king's son, who is named T'Challa Jr. The character was introduced as a child during the closing scenes of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. That film revealed that King T'Challa and Nakia, played by Lupita Nyong'o, quietly had a son named Toussaint. His Wakandan name is Prince T'Challa. Director Ryan Coogler, confirmed that the third movie will follow the young prince as he grows up and comes of age. Coogler is returning to direct, with Letitia Wright reprising her role as Shuri and Winston Duke returning as M'Baku. I hope I said that right. Wright became the Black Panther in Wakanda Forever following the death of Chadwick Boseman. Exactly how Shuri transfers the mantle or whether Wakanda temporarily operates as a family-sized Black Panther package has not been revealed. That would be so cool. Let me see here now. We do not need... Exactly. That's the shit right there. But then he's playing an African person, but if they're from America, then I have an issue. Johnson is best known for his performance in Industry, Rye Lane, Alien, Romulus. Oh, yeah, he's that thing. And The Long Walk. Oh, yeah, that's him. During the announcement, he described joining the Marvel family as an honor, privilege, and blessing. He is inheriting a franchise with substantial cultural and financial weight. Be kind of nice if we had an American black person doing this. The original Black Panther earned more than $1.3 billion worldwide, became the first superhero movie nominated for the Best Picture Oscar, and won 3 Academy Awards. Why didn't it win the Oscar? It should have won the Oscar. Wakanda Forever. You know I didn't watch that yet. I still need to watch that. I'm gonna do a showing in my Discord. Earned approximately $859 million globally and received 5 Oscar nominations. Why not a win? Johnson is not being asked to imitate Chadwick Boseman, and he should not be. Boseman's performance belongs to him. Instead, Marvel is allowing T'Challa's legacy to continue through his son. That gives the franchise a path forward without pretending its loss never happened. We have more than 2 years before the movie arrives, so Marvel has plenty of time to finish the script and for the internet to create 6,000 theories, 5,900 of which will be confidently wrong. Let me get off my soap. Girl, shit, I'm trying to get on it with you. Anyways, moving on because we ain't got time for that. This shit here pissed me off, not because of the loss, but because it took you this long to say something. The public has been giving a lot to you. So 21 Savage's family calls for action on illegal guns after 14-year-old nephew dies by suicide. 21 Savage's family is grieving after a devastating pew-pew involving 2 children and I am angry because once again, people are demanding action only after violence reaches their own front door. According to the family, 14-year-old Seven Shirley died by self-deletion after allegedly and accidentally pew-pewing his 12-year-old sister, Lyric, in the neck at a Georgia home. Lyric survived and has undergone multiple surgeries involving her neck and vocal cords. Her family is asking for prayers as she continues to recovering. Seven's grandmother, Sharon Smith, raised him from the time he was 11 months old. She believes that after the accidental pew-pew, he became overwhelmed by fear and arrest and ridicule and the consequences of what had happened. The family says it does not know how Seven obtained the firearm. It is now calling for action against illegal sale of guns to minors and asking communities to help keep firearms away from children. How long have we been having this conversation? This one right here has been for decades. The tragedy follows another loss within the family. Seven's 13-year-old cousin, DeMarcus Shirley, was reportedly unalived in a drive-by pew-pew just weeks earlier. 21 Savage publicly mourned Seven by sharing a childhood photograph, but an important classification is necessary. The broader demand for action reported in the story came from the family, not directly from the rapper. And 21 Savage has discussed gun violence before. In 2024, he said there was no reason that could justify unaliving someone. Thank you. Although he also expressed a fatalistic belief that violence would never completely stop. You're not helping. But this still raises a larger question about celebrity activism. Why does an issue frequently become worthy of sustained attention only after the celebrity loses somebody? Personal tragedy can destroy the emotional distance that always allows people to treat violence like background noise. But celebrities also have publicists, business interests, fan bases, and brands to protect. Speaking forcefully before tragedy may require confronting the same culture, industry, or audience they helped to generate their success. Then someone dies, and suddenly the press discovers mortality. That does not make the family's grief insincere. Their loss is horrific, and their demand for change deserves support. But advocacy should not begin at the funeral. If celebrities possess influence while children are alive, that is when it should be used. Not only after another family is selecting a photograph for a memorial. For real, it's ridiculous and it's horrible. All right, now let's move to one more because everybody keeps talking about P-Valley, so I decided to drop this one in before we get to health because we're almost done, I promise you. P-Valley co-host stars Tyler Lepley and Miracle Watts have officially tied the knot after years together. P Valley co-stars Tyler Lepley and Miracle Watts have officially traded their on-screen chemistry for a real-life marriage certificate. The couple tied the knot on July 25th, 2026 during the destination wedding in Cabo, Mexico. They confirmed the marriage one day later by sharing photographs from the ceremony on Instagram with captions, Mr. and Mrs. Tyler Lepley. They might make a beautiful child, or a fucked up one, because we've seen that happen before. The wedding hashtag has already been completed. The assignment, nobody had to force two unrelated words into grammatical distress. And honestly, when your names naturally create that phrase, Tyler's Miracle is the hashtag. Lepley and Watts met in 2021 while working on the second season of Star's drama P Valley. Their relationship moved beyond the set and they welcomed their son. Oh, damn, they're very early. Shi Lei. It's Chinese. They gave him a Chinese name. Shi Lei in October 2022. Lepley has two other children from a previous relationship. After approximately 3 years together, Lepley proposed in November 2024. The proposal featured an enormous hearted shape arrangement of white roses because apparently a regular bouquet was not going to survive the expectations attached to Miracle Watts. Before the engagement, Watts had publicly discussed wanting marriage and questioned how long a couple should remain together when both people supposedly share the goal. Translation: Sir, the application period is closing. Kindly submit the ring before the deadline. Lepley later explained that although he believed early in their relationship that Watts could become his wife, he wanted them to take the time necessary to truly know each other. The patience eventually led to the altar. The newlyweds have shared much of their journey with fans, from dating and vacations to parenthood and their engagement and now marriage. But the wedding itself appears to have remained centered on their family, relationship, and the life they are building together. Celebrity relationships give us confusion, overlapping timelines, note app statements, and an unfollowing ceremony before the actual divorce paper arrive. So today we are simply celebrating good news. Tyler Lepley and Miracle Watts met, built a family, took their time, and made it official. Congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Lepley. May the marriage last longer than the internet's attention span. For real. Now we're going to go ahead and move into health because we're almost done. And you really might want to pay attention to this one for real. The slow-mo recall of lettuce linked to the cyclospora outbreak. You knew this was coming. So, check your refrigerator because Taylor Farms has recalled iceberg lettuce amid a nationwide cyclospora outbreak that has sickened thousands of people. Cyclospora is a microscopic parasite spread through contaminated food or water. Symptoms include watery diarrhea, stomach cramps, nausea, loss of appetite, weight loss, bloating, gas, and fatigue. Ooh, that's horrible. Symptoms may begin days after exposure and can continue for weeks or disappear before returning, because apparently even diarrhea gets an encore. That's nasty. Taylor Farms voluntarily recalled the iceberg lettuce sourced from central Mexico on July 17th. The affected lettuce was distributed between June 29th and July 16th in Alabama, Arkansas, Connecticut, Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan, Missouri, Mississippi, North Carolina, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, and Wisconsin. Damn it, why didn't you just say the 50 states? Anyways, the consumer products listed as MKTSD iceberg salad in 12 and 24-ounce packages and MKTSD shredded lettuce in 8 and 16 ounces packages with use-by dates ranging from July 18 through August 3rd, 2026. The recall also covers multiple bulk service packages sold under the codes CV, JB, Mark, PK, Sub, SY, and TF. Taylor Farm products reach consumer through restaurants and retailers, including Costco, Kroger's, Trader Joe's, Walmart, and Whole Foods. I don't shop at none of those. Investigators linked implicated lettuce to Taco Bell locations in Kentucky, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, and West Virginia. Taco Bell says it removed all Taylor's Farm lettuce from its restaurant and supply chain nationwide. The FDA initially reported that a lettuce sample tested positive for that shit, but later withdrew the finding as a false positive. However, the recall remains active, and federal officials continue advising consumers to avoid affected iceberg lettuce. I like romaine myself, while the investigation continues. Health experts are also questioning whether federal staffing cuts slowed the response. It did. The Trump administration's DOGE operation eliminated food safety positions while the CDC reduced parts of its monitoring program. Taylor Farms founder Bryce Taylor and company-linked entities have donated millions to the Republican-aligned political groups, but there's currently no established evidence that those contributions influenced this damn thing. They should have said nationwide. Exactly. If you possess lettuce, do not wash it. What? And hope for the best. Oh, what? Wait, it really said, do not wash it and hope for the best. Discard immediately or return it for a refund. Man, if you have lettuce, just don't eat that shit. Anyone experiencing prolonged diarrhea, stay out of my face, or other symptoms should contact a healthcare professional and mention possible cyclospora exposure. Because when a salad promises to clean you out, this is absolutely not what the nutritionist meant. Now, for you older people, you need to pay attention to this next story. I promise you, we are almost done. Look at this shit. How a mix-up at Georgia pharmacy became nearly fatal for this 78-year-old woman. She looked good for 78. She looks very good. Shit, she looks better than fucking Trump, definitely. Damn, no, she really has hardly no kind of wrinkles. Woo, she looked good for her age. So, a 78-year-old Georgia woman says a pharmacy error just stopped eating everything. Pretty much. Hell, Magic just eats candy. That's what she told me. She don't eat nothing natural. 78-year-old Georgia woman says pharmacy error caused by her unknowingly using fentanyl patches. I didn't know they had those for nearly 3 weeks and nearly cost her life. Betty Thomas went to Publix Pharmacy in Decatur expecting to collect hormone patches. According to Thomas and her family, the pharmacy instead gave her fentanyl patches prescribed to another customer named Betty Davis. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Thomas believed the patches were part of the hormone treatment and reportedly used them for 18 days. Girl, she was high. Her health steadily deteriorated. She experienced severe nausea, vomiting, dizziness, and constipation before her son finally took her to the hospital. That is where the family discovered she'll be safe. Oh, that's good. Where is it? The family is where the family finally said they discovered she had been exposed to fentanyl. Fentanyl patches are powerful prescription opioids intended for opioid-tolerant patients experiencing severe persistent pain. The medication enters the body through the skin and can cause life-threatening breathing problems, especially when someone used them whom it was never prescribed for. This was not somebody accidentally receiving the generic version of the same medication. This was allegedly the wrong patient, wrong prescription, and a drug powerful enough to stop a person from breathing. Thomas says she is still recovering. Her family later turned the remaining patches over to police for proper disposal. Her granddaughter, Deanna Thomas, contacted Publix corporate office seeking accountability. The family says Publix offered $4,000 to cover the incident and medical expense. Bitch, I want more than that. Deanne called the offer a slap in the face. I would too, and said the company showed no remorse. This is what complainancy does. As of the original reporting, Publix had not publicly, that's fucked up, publicly responded to repeated requests for comment. It is also unclear whether the family accepted the offer intends to pursue legal actions. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump has publicly called the allegations deeply troubling. Pharmacies are supposed to verify patient identity before handing over medication, but patients should still check 5 things before leaving: your full name, medication name, the dosage. Magic will be. Oh, okay. I was about to say, good grief, what do you know? Because it isn't on the FDA list. Exactly. If anything looks unfamiliar, okay, check your dosage, its appearance, and what it treats. If anything looks unfamiliar, ask the pharmacist before using it. That extra check is backup, not an excuse for professionals to skip theirs, okay? And offering $4,000 after allegedly handing a 78-year-old fentanyl intended for somebody else, that sounds like accountability, and less like accountability and more like hoping that problem accepts store credit and quietly leaves. Thomas is survived. The next person may not. That is sick. You're sick. Everything's sick about that. Now, we're about to go hit up into this next one. I promise you, this is the last story. It is funny as hell. But before that, I'm going to do my commercial. If you like what I'm doing, if you don't like what I'm doing, and you have a suggestion that could help, hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, keep your shit to yourself, because I actually have time. Otherwise, please like, subscribe. Where's my kitsune name? There she is. Subscribe if it's a she. I took my pills every time they change. I look exactly. Always look at them bitches. Now, here goes my commercial. I'll be right back, because you will be amazed when you see this shit.
It's just me and the fam. 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 Yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little Tay, that's my hype girl, that's my mascot. No one's go for hours and some hours till we pass out. Stay inside the house, turned up with them racks out. Stay inside the house, turned.
Now, look, I was going to do 2 stories, but I'm going to do one because it's getting late. And for some reason, I can't stop having all these damn headlines. Shit is just, I used to have less stories, for real. Anyways, this story right here, just to let y'all know the story that I'm missing. People in South Carolina, there is an escaped jaguar out there. They might have caught it. They might not have. But a jaguar escaped in South Carolina. I'm just letting you know. This one right here, though, I need y'all to look at this shit. Just look at this. If you didn't notice, that was Spider-Man. Spider-Man just went and helped a man trying to get across the street, and that really was great. I didn't see him come out the car, but why was he dressed as wait a minute. Oh, I missed one story. Oh shit. Breaking news. Before I continue with this one, well, I'll do it right after this. I have a breaking news story. I need y'all to see it. I have an update. It's a breaking story, and then I'll let y'all go. But before that, let me finish this one. Okay, so drivers in Jonesboro, Arkansas witnessed something unexpected at a busy intersection. Spider-Man jumped out of a red Jeep to help a man using a wheelchair cross 6 lanes of traffic. And for once, this was not artificial intelligence, a movie promotion, or somebody filming content while making everyone else late. The man behind the mask was 20-year-old Christopher Hennethal, an employee at Ultimate Air Trampoline Park. Hennethal had I'm saying his first name. Christopher had dressed as Spider-Man for a superhero themed event at work. That's pretty cool. While driving home, he noticed a man struggling to propel his wheelchair through a crowded intersection before the traffic signal changed. Hennethal Christopher immediately climbed out of his Jeep, ran into the crosswalk, grabbed the handles, and told the man, "I got you." He then pushed him safely across the remaining lanes and hurried back to his vehicle just as the light changed and traffic began moving. The entire rescue was captured by Jonesboro traffic camera. Police later shared the footage online, thanking Christopher for what he did, what they called a web of kindness, and reminding residents that whether the light is red or green, there is always time to do what is right. Now, please do not interpret that statement as permission to go stop your vehicle in moving traffic and begin conducting random community service. Situational awareness remains part of the superhero package. Christopher said adrenaline helped him move so quickly. He also explained that he would have assisted the man whether he was wearing the costume or not. He did not realize the video had gone viral until his mother woke him up from a nap and informed him that he was on Facebook. Imagine saving somebody from 6 lanes of traffic and then going home to take a nap. No press conference, no dramatic announcement, just neighborhood heroism, followed by responsible hydration and unconsciousness. Christopher is a lifelong Spider-Man fan who reportedly met the comic book legend Stan Lee when he was 80 years old. Years later, he demonstrated the lesson at the center of the character. He loves having power, whether superhuman strength or simply the ability to help, creates a responsibility to use it. No webs were deployed, no villains were punched, and no buildings were damaged. Just one person noticing another person needed help and deciding not to sit there and watch. Thank you. Now we have a breaking news. You know I'm always going to keep my foot on the neck. I almost missed this story. I checked right before I started work. Here it is. Not the Jaguar. There it is right there. Breaking news. Where's my little breaking news graphic so I can show y'all that and then we can go to bed because this is the last story, damn it. I told y'all. It's all this fucking headline shit that's driving me nuts. Maybe if we didn't have a fucked up system, I would have less stories to report. Anyways, where is it? There it is. Breaking news. Here it is right there. Did it work? Okay, there it is. So let me make this bigger real quick so we can go to bed after this or do whatever the fuck we're gonna do over here. I need to make it bigger so y'all can see. They've started preliminaries for this dude. All right, so everything you need to know about DeForvit's preliminary hearing, and here we go. This will be just 2 minutes and then I'll let y'all go to bed. The preliminary hearing for singer DeForvit has revealed disturbing new evidence in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. DeForvit, whose legal name is David Anthony Burke, has pleaded not guilty to charges including a first-degree murder, essay of a child, and mutilation of human remains. I think he's guilty, but I don't know. A preliminary hearing is not a trial. The judge is deciding whether prosecutors have presented enough evidence for the case to proceed before a jury, not whether Burke is guilty. I think he has enough. Anyway, Celeste remains were discovered on September 8, 2025, inside 2 bags placed in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to Burke. The vehicle has been abandoned before being towed to the Hollywood Impound. The medical examiner determined Celeste died from multiple penetration injuries. Prosecutors allege Burke unalived Celeste in she might expose their illegal growing music career. During the hearing, detectives testified that after Celeste's death, Burke purchased items including 2 cadaver bags, a shovel, 3 chainsaws, an inflatable pool, heavy-duty laundry. What the hell you mean you don't have enough evidence? This is a lot of evidence, motherfucker. What the hell are you talking about? This is a whole lot of evidence. Shit. What else did he do? He got a portable incinerator described as a burn box and cleaning supplies, heavy-duty laundry bags. Prosecutors argue those purchases were part of an effort to destroy evidence and dispose of Celeste's remains. Who the hell buys all that shit at the same time? That's all I want to know. A DNA expert testified that biological material recovered from several objects, include Burke's garage, inside Burke's garage, strongly matched Celeste. However, the expert could not determine exactly when the material was deposited or conclusively establish that every sample was blood. Investigators also presented photographs, messages recovered from Burke's phone. According to testimony, the material documented on alleged a sexual relationship with Celeste while she was 13, discussions about pregnancy and an abortion. The decision challenged the investigation. Burke's attorneys emphasized that multiple people lived inside the house, questioned by some items that were not fully tested, questioned why some weren't fully tested, and noted that recovered chainsaw reportedly showed no indication of blood. You can wash that shit off. I promise you can. Those challenges matter. Evidence can appear overwhelming in headlines and still face serious questions about collection, timing, interpretation, and chain of custody inside a courtroom. Burke remains jailed without bail. If convicted as charged, he could face life without parole or potentially the death penalty, although prosecutors have not announced whether they will seek capital punishment. The judge is expected to determine whether the case proceeds to trial after the hearing concludes. And throughout every shocking allegation and celebrity headline, Celeste must not disappear from her own story. She was not merely DeForvit's girlfriend. She was a child whose family deserves truth, accountability, and justice established through the evidence. And that is it for tonight. I'm so sorry I kept y'all. Thank you for coming. Thank you for staying. I just really wanted to get that last story out because that shit seemed kind of important. I'm just saying. So with that done, let's go ahead and say goodnight. I'll see y'all later on Wednesday, and then maybe we'll shoot the shit. We have another case apparently with Simba now in court on Friday. So let's talk about it. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for coming, and good night. Where's my goodbye? There it is.
I can't say no, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road, I can't say no, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road.
Where's the chat? Really? Oh, there it is.